Right, welcome back everybody to Onion Night. It's Friday night, the home of the giant onion growing challenge. And if you don't know what that is, where have you been? It's an internet global sensation. It's gone viral. I mean, there must be 30 people doing it now. I think it was a lot more than that. If you've stumbled across this, you go, what are you on about? I'm hosting a giant onion growing challenge where anybody can get themselves off the Foster's website, buy some LC onion seed, grow it the best you can. Whoever grows the biggest, the fattest, the hugest onion wins a prize. I haven't made it yet, or I haven't got it yet, but I will, so it'll be fine. First of all, massive thanks to everybody who took part in the live last week. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I got a few ideas to try and make it a little bit better for next time. But I hope I didn't miss anybody out on the comments because they went pretty quick and I struggled to keep up, to be honest. And thanks to Duncan for coming on and giving us all his good advice. Now tonight I'm going to be showing how I put on mine. As it turns out, not brilliantly, but yeah, we'll deal with that next, and then we'll go on to onion news at the end and have a little catch up. All right, let's get on with doing this. Right, hello everybody. I'm going to be potting on the onions that I've multi-sown. I'll just go through how I do that. I do it in sort of 3 stages. So I'll just go through the first bit. Right, first of all, I like to get everything ready. So I've got my pots ready. I'm using 7-centimeter pots, or pretty much the equivalent. These were 15 cell trays, and I've just cut them up. So they're all individual trays. Fill them up with the same compost as the seedlings are in. So that's compost of your choice. Mine's Vitax. Mixed 2-to-1 by volume of compost. So that's 2 of compost, 1 of fine vermiculite. Filled my trays. Give them a squish down. Filled them again and gave them a light squishing. Then I gave them all a good soaking with rainwater that I've got up here in the room, in the old famous Timu watering can. So they've had a good watering. Then I gave them all a good dibbing with my little green dibber, made all the holes. My idea is getting prepared, and then hopefully I won't forget anything. Because on that note, with the mycorrhizal, what I do is I've got it in a pot, and after I've dibbed all the holes, I also chuck some in each hole. That way, if I forget to put it on the roots, when I prick out my seedlings, should I forget that, at least there's some already in the holes. All right, and on each pot, just using one of these shaky white chalk markers, I've also written A. Jimmy, I think you ought to do this, mate. It's a bloody good idea. I don't know why you don't do it. It was him that gave me the idea. So that's all my trays, all ready to go. All right. So next stage for me, separating them out and picking out the best ones. So let's go and do that. Right, so now I'm going to tip these seedlings out of here, pick out what I consider to be the best ones, and put them into this pot, which is just a little tray, and I've put in it some of this Regeneroot root stimulator. I got it last year. Chris Evans uses it, so I thought I'd give it a go. And it's only 1 mil just in that bit of water. And the idea is to keep the roots moist while we sort them out just before we put them back on. All right, water in there is warm, because mechanical side of me, I've got one of these digital thermometer things, so I know that that water is just a couple of degrees warmer than the soil in here. So now's the moment of truth, tipping these out and seeing what they're like. I know Rob's shouting at me already. You left them too late. You left them too late. You should have done that ages ago. Yeah, you're probably right. But on that note, I've got some more I potted up, that planted, seeds I planted. I'm going to try it the next time a different way and do this earlier. But anyway, let's get on, see what we've got in here. Pull out all my labels. Right, this is the trickiest bit, getting them out of here. Hey, there we go. Oh, it's all right. I didn't squash them too much. Right, hopefully you can see there. Good lot of roots coming through. So now, what we're going to do is make a mess and try and separate these out. So I don't know if you can see there, but that is the seed covering. So we can whip that off. And that's the roots that we've got. I know what Duncan's going to say. If you'd put them on earlier, these would be shorter and thicker. So that's what we're going to do with the next lot. That's what we got. So we'll just crack on. And sort them out. Just tease the roots out. There we go. Roots out. There again, you've got the seed leaf. Pull that off. Put it in our little pot. And what I'm going to do is quietly work my way through this lot and pick out the best ones. So I'll bring you back when I've done. And all I'll do is show you what I consider a poor one. All right. So I'll do this. We'll see you back in a minute. Right, so these are the ones I've separated out, the not so good ones. If there was two close together, you know, one's better than the other. Some had quite poor roots, or I damaged them slightly. There's one there with a squished leaf. They're just not quite so good. So they won't go to waste. What I'm going to do is I put the compost back in here. Ideally it would be fresh, but I'll give it a bit of a feed. And there again, put the, not vermiculite, the other stuff, mycorrhizal in the holes, and I'll just plant them up in there and they'll go back up to the polytunnel probably. I'll just see how they get on. But they're not part of the competition. Well, they sort of are, but they're not under grow lights anymore. But I can't say these are Team No Lights because they've been under lights. All right, so I'll just pop this lot up and then we'll get on with that lot. Right, so I just potted them up and put them back, and now we'll get on to the main event, potting on these better ones. But in the process of potting the other ones, I've made a thing, and it's it's just a bit of cardboard with a little V cut in it to help poke the roots in. Because I've got to be honest, these aren't brilliant. The roots are long, but they're not very strong. I mean, that one's not too bad, but they're massively long. And I think if they were done earlier and then put in these pots, you know, they would curl around a bit and be better. But it's what we got. So with making me little forky thing, what I've been able to do is make it a little bit easier to curl those roots up and get them in the hole. And then like I say, the mycorrhizal's already in the hole. In there like that. And our 30cm stick. I mean, it's staying up, but I'm going to clip it anyway. And the beauty of these clips is you can move them up like that. So that's it. That's all I'm going to do. And crack on and put all these in. Then they'll go back under the lights. And from now on, these will be getting every time I water them, I'll be using a liquid seaweed mix. This is the Max Crop seaweed. Right, so that's it. That's how I do it. Wrongly. I know Rob's going, you left them too late. You left them too late. But I have got some more. I'll show you. I've got these seeds here. These were sown on the 23rd. And I'm going to do them differently. I'm going to put them on a lot quicker and see how they get on. I'm also putting these are under 24-hour lights, 24/7, and they're on the fan 24/7. See what difference that makes. All right, beauty. Right, well, I won't bore you with doing the rest of it, but that's what I'm doing. And hope yours are doing well. You know what we're going to do next, don't you? Onion news. Beauty. Right, onion news. This could all be to hell because doing the live last week, I don't know what videos I'm trying to keep up with, or I've mentioned, or whatever. So if I miss your video, don't get offended. Well, you can get offended. That's the thing about don't get offended. Being offended. What's the point? Nothing happens. Your arm doesn't fall off if you get offended. Anyway, by the by. Anyway, Brian's Lotman and Polytunnel. Now, he reckoned the first lot of seeds that he sowed that he was keeping in his bedroom, apparently they all died because where he was getting ready, he was spraying his aftershave and he reckoned they went on the plants and killed them. So, death by aftershave. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, hilarious. But he's got another lot on the go. He's up and running. Happy days. Mark Gang Peanut, he's potted his on, but he did confess to suffering a bit from onion anxiety. Yeah. It's very common, Mark. I get it occasionally. And that's where you wake up thinking about bloody onions. You go to bed thinking about your onions. You're worrying whether your light's gone off. You're worrying whether your fan's gone on. You're worrying whether, did I water them? Whatever. It's very common. It just shows you care. So it'll be all right, Mark. It'll be all right. And the video you did looked like you're doing a cracking job. Kevin Ward over in Ireland. Hopefully I'll put some photos up. He's just managed to sow his. I sent him some seeds because Foster's won't deliver to Ireland. So he's up and running. That happens to be the guy that won the National Vegetable Society show. So I reckon he'll do a fair job. So good luck to Karen. The right pear plot, Ellie finally got hers. They're in the post. I thought I had some. Oh no, well they've turned up now. Beauty. She's up and running, and yeah, no doubt she'll do a cracking job. And looking forward to seeing her updates. Rob's Allotment Channel. He did a fantastic video apparently of potting them on, but he lost all the footage. Well, that's what he says. I reckon he just doesn't want us to know all his secrets, you know. So he did a follow-up video going, well, I put a bit of this and a bit of that. Yeah. So all his actual secrets are still with him. He needs to come back down to Cornwall and I'll apply him with a bit more beer. What else we got? There's not masses in onion news, to be fair. A little update on my seed onions when I'm putting away for seed. Yeah, they're starting to shoot up now. I'll put a little picture of that. They've just started to sprout, so I'm super excited about seeing how they get on because I'd love to get my own seed next year. Finally, DT Brown. Now, if you can't be doing all this faffing around, growing your onions from seed and all that nonsense, DT Brown do a pre-order deal on Kelsey onions, where I think it's, what are they, 16 quid. At the end of March, they send you 40 plug plant, and then you just put them in the 9 centimeter pots, or let them grow on a bit, and then plant them out when your ground's ready. I did that last year just because I've got a weird interest in all things onion, and they were fantastic for a main crop onion. If you don't, you know, it's only the one variety they do, the Kelsey, but they turned out brilliantly. And yeah, not much more I can say, really. Is there much more I can say? No, there's not much more I can say because I haven't written nothing else. Yeah. Next week's onion news, hopefully it'll be a bit more interesting because I'll have caught up with people's videos, and I'm sure the likes of Jimmy and that will post something up. Oh shit, no, he did, didn't I? I've forgotten his. Jimmy did it. Jimmy did a good potting on video, apart from forgetting his mycorrhizal, but we all do it. So that's just human nature. Right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll probably do another live, maybe January, because everybody's going to be busy now doing stuff, aren't they? But thanks again for joining in the live, and we will do another. It was good fun. It was lovely to catch up with everybody. And I'll see you next Friday. Hope your onions are growing well. Keep us updated, videos, or send me photos, email, and we'll do it all in onion news next week. Right, that's it. My tea's done ready, so I'm off. Cheers and go on.